What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. We might get Stephen King to pop in any second. We will see. If not, we'll run it up. What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. All right, got to mute that YouTube, and I got to get back into Thinkorswim. Just give me 1 second. You celebrated last night? Yeah, it was a we said, celebrating a new bull market, getting crazy. No, we were actually at a wedding. We we had a family wedding last night, so we got to attend that one. Let me do a screen share. But yeah, it was good. If Woodshed's here, earmuffs, because it was in New Jersey. This one was in Jersey. So Steven sounds just like Dan. A little bit. Just a little bit today. Let me just get my Thinkorswim. Just give me 1 second, guys, while I just get set up. Greg Gilbert's in the house. Oh, yeah, today is Veterans Day. We do want to thank all of the troops, all the gentlemen, all the ladies that were serving, protecting us, allowing us to sit here in freedom, hit buttons, make money on stupid red and green candles for a living, giving us the opportunity and freedom to do so. So we do appreciate all you guys out there. Thanks for the heads up. Thanks for the reminder. Sleepy Dan, no, I'm just getting my Thinkorswim up. That's all. That is all. But give me 1 more second. Let me get some water. I'll be back, and we will tackle these markets. And again, maybe Stephen King pops in. We shall see. So yeah, I'm back. Don't worry, I'm back. Did you guys know that the market went bullish yesterday? We had a pretty bullish, crazy day. Oh,
Hey Dan.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, my bad. I think I looked at the wrong date on the schedule.
No worries.
Dude, I'm so sorry. I think because I specifically went and looked and I must have clicked on the wrong Friday.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, right. I saw some messages pop in Slack, so I'm like, all right, we'll get it up and running. But all
right, my bad. You want to run with it?
If you want to take it, it's all you.
I can, although I haven't even opened anything yet. So if you have the time,
okay, yeah,
it's up to you. If you don't, give me 5 minutes just to get everything set up.
Yeah, I'm all good. We'll start running through the market. If you want to hop in, great. If not, all good.
Okay,
no problem.
Right. I'll mute myself for now.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's see which screen. Let me do a screen share. I believe we got this one. Perfect. Let's run it into the hourly chart real quick. Let's see where we're starting. CPI was very, very good yesterday. Extremely strong. It did not feel like one of those days that we were going to get that pullback, to be honest. It was a massive gap. The only thing, I mean, again, going bullish yesterday was tough. Just because pre-market we gapped insane. I mean, the market doesn't typically move like that, so I get it. I do think out of the gate we get some. So now we have a little bit of a retest, so we probably will pull back a little at open because this is a nice gap. But if not, I'll be looking for the next spot somewhere around this 397.85 zone. You already covered it bullish. Look for like 397.85. Just that's where the next highest volume is. if we start to, and then that probably goes as high as like 399.57. If it does run up a little bit further, or starts getting past that point, there's not a lot, honestly, that keep this thing back from. I mean, we have a mini spot somewhere around 402.81, and then realistically, next spot was 413. We have some type of mini look, or not mini, it looks like a pretty monster inverse head and shoulders. So we have something like this left shoulder. We have now some kind of a head. There's the right shoulder. We have some kind of this. The only thing we have coming out really in the market news-wise till the end of the year, besides Santa Claus, is we have Jerome Powell coming in again to look to raise rates. But the bigger issue is, number one, he said, I'm doing whatever it takes to get to the level where we get inflation back down to 2%. And then we have good news coming out from at least the core CPI from yesterday. What that tells me is, honestly, the market is probably pricing in a 75, and he will run it up to 75 basis point or a 50, right? He might come in lighter, so the market might be thinking maybe a little bit lighter. But I think even at this point, just on how he phrased what he was saying, if we come out at a 0.75, I don't think it shocks the market. I think the only thing at this point that really could be a real negative for the market in terms of just Jerome Powell speaking and not some kind of black swan sitting out there would be if he comes out with like a full point. I don't think anyone's expecting that. So I think they're leaning toward maybe it's a 75, maybe it's a 50, but honestly, I don't think the markets will take that negatively. So I am starting to look a little bit in a bullish direction, setting myself up to run bullish. Today will be also probably a day that I'm looking to buy the dips on things. Again, we have next stop on the SPY probably around this 398. We'll see if that breaks. After that, I mean, 410. I don't think that happens today. But what is really stopping us from getting up to that point? Not much, but it is technically a recess gap, so I would expect to be patient at open. Let's take a look quickly at the Qs. Check Qs. We got the hourly chart. I just want to zoom out to see what this volume is. I don't think there's anything in the way. No. This is a slightly longer time frame, right? We have not a lot of interest from institutional buyers to really stop this thing. All of this volume down here is going to be some kind of now support. We look like we got a good double bottom. We got good volume on those double bottoms as well, right? Even here, we made a higher low. Qs look like they probably getting into the 288 zone. I mean, that's another $6 higher. So even though the market, and this could be the beginning of the most unwanted bullish market in the history of the world, right? Because everyone's thinking, hey, we're still bad, economy's still bad, inflation is still high. You can't beat around the bush. Inflation is still out there, still rough. But again, the market is more forward looking. So we could look at this thing going, yeah, the economy's not there yet. We're still fearful of the markets, but again, we're looking kind of more forward looking, and I think the market is starting to see some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, right? So just because something ran high, I don't know if anybody was trading or attempting to trade. There was a couple opportunities that looked decent, but if you're trying to trade bearish, just because something is bullish where it seems overextended doesn't mean it has to. It doesn't mean it has to drop, right? So keep that in mind. Tesla, on the other hand, so even though we had one of the strongest days, I have to look at the history of the market to see what the strongest actual day of the market was, but it surely felt like it yesterday. Tesla on a different level. Still some weakness. I think there's still a lot of weakness in the crypto community. So you do have Tesla with some Bitcoin, right? So they are tied a little bit to the crypto. You also have Elon Musk is the godfather of the Doge. So they're going to be related heavily. I think Elon was he put out yesterday that bankruptcy for Twitter is not off the table. Keep in mind though, bankruptcy does not mean the business is closing. It means it depends on what chapter of bankruptcy. So I believe if it's chapter 11, it's just reorganization. If it's chapter 7, I think then you are going under, I believe. But chapter 11 is just reorganization. So that's probably the direction of bankruptcy, which actually wouldn't be a bad move because he just gets to renegotiate any debt with any of the people that Twitter would owe money to, get better terms, get better rates, extended pay periods. That would help him out a lot. Plus, it would make it a little easier, I think, to fire a lot of people in Twitter and kind of just take the whole thing and start fresh. So Twitter going bankrupt, or at least chapter 11. Yeah, I agree, Matt. That would actually be a pretty smart move. And he would have the ability to do it, considering that he took over the company and you have a lot of the bigger companies, GM and some of the other bigger companies that advertise historically with Twitter pulling out because of political reasons. And now Elon goes, well, we can't pay the bills. So chapter 11, yeah, that is a good move. Otherwise, Twitter does look extremely weak. This is gapping down. I would be interested to play this one short as opposed to going long, at least to the worst case. I do think we have to see 179.94 hit. Not a lot of volume or support in this area. Tesla for me would be a decent looking short. Maybe we get bought up a little bit. I don't think we do at the open, but maybe if we do, and you can get it somewhere around 187.98, would be a decent price to short. But even here, I mean, besides 2 levels of like, hey, the bulls kind of came in there last time, not even on huge volume. So nothing crazy. And Twitter did not celebrate with the rest of the market yesterday. It was just an inside candle. It's still an inside candle today, so it might just be a little back and forth, but you do have some room to the downside on that one. Let's take some of these lines off the chart. Let's see. We've got AMD. Maloney is joining us. We got AMD. We go out to some longer time frames on things. Yeah. I mean, look at the volume that we're in. 6805-ish gonna be, or 68, probably 6811-ish. It's gonna be some kind of a bigger support at this point. You have not a lot of volume in this area, so somewhere in this zone, 0 institutional interest. It's got the ability to fly. Right? And it's gonna feel very strange if this thing does start breaking. It's gonna be like, hey, we got to, it's got to get a pullback, right? We got to get that pullback. Not necessarily, right? So this is going to be a retest gap. So at open, I would love to see some kind of red candle. If we get some kind of red candle, I mean, 10 EMA, we might be able to play too, because we should be, at least on non-extended hours, we should be able to be on the bullish side of it. See if we get a little bit of a pullback, a tad even to like, I'd love to see like 68, 65. This should be a support. I mean, even throwing some kind of stop down below it would be 67.42. That works for me. And again, just not a lot stopping it to head on back from bullish, because on the way down, that was a massive drop. And I can see that running it up today as well. So AMD does look good in a bullish direction. Wait for that pullback first. Even to like yesterday's VPOC, that would be coming a little bit lower, but just wait. Be a sniper. Be out there in the fields waiting for your play. We got NVIDIA. First point of contention, I would say, is looking somewhere around this 158.92 zone. Past that, I mean, that's very small. But we do get held up there, I think, a little bit. Otherwise, I think we're looking good, honestly, for what, back to the 170s. Matt R says, yep, removes the courts from the issues he's facing. Yeah, if he files the Chapter 11, that would be a at least for somebody that definitely overpaid for a company that most likely was filled with fake bots. That would help him a lot. I think that would be a good move on his part. Honestly, I kind of hope he does it. And I'm sure everybody who just doesn't like Elon for now, which they loved him before, but now for political reasons they don't like him. I don't know, but that would drive them crazy. We got Apple again. Got my little email and received some Apple dividends. I believe it was supposed to come out yesterday, but I received the email today. This one, again, this one's gonna be a little bit of I think a little bit more chop. We should have a pretty clear direction to 149.41. But there's this entire move that we're in is still quite the volume. Really, you want to see anything over 157. If it gets there, that gives us a little bit more of a leeway, but we should be still leaning, I think, a little bit more bullish on Apple. Apple is pulling back right now, but it is at some kind of support, right? So it is technically a gap and go, right? But it's already kind of retesting into this volume area. So if this one fails, see what happens at 145.04. But again, I just don't really want to go bearish for me personally. And when Stephen King jumps in, he might come in and be like, hey, I'm the biggest bear in the world right now. And he's probably right. But for me, just be careful. I don't know. I would love to short, and there will be a time for me where I see something develop on the charts that says, all right, you know what? That was a little trap in the bullish direction. Looks like we could go bearish. There's some new sentiment comes out, something. I don't think we have it yet. I just don't. I don't know. We got Amazon. So Amazon is gapping up. That actually looks like a nice gap. So going to be an inside day. So 10 EMA on this one will be a little bit tough. Most likely when Jerome Powell speaks. Yeah. We have to see the notes from the previous meeting. Right. We have to see what he actually does with the rate hike. And I think he still wants to come out and be as bearish and hawkish as possible. But at this, that would be the second meeting. I think his words are a little less trustworthy. So I think a lot of people believe what he was saying last time. I said before he went in, I go, he's probably 75 basis point. And I think we see the most hawkish Powell we've ever seen. Right? Because he wants to keep it down. And I think a lot of people just believed the face value and not kind of looked a little deeper and said, okay, he probably has to come out hawkish, to be honest. Like he wants the market to go down or stay flat and whatever it is, just not up. All right. And I think a lot of people going, oh, Jerome Powell, this is what he's saying right now. He's going all full hawk. And yeah, but he has to. And I think he might do that again. I just don't think you get as many believers as we had on this last one. That's all. We got Amazon getting a little bit of a gap. That does look like a decent gap. We're in a good range. I do think 101 has to be tested, so I would be probably leaning a little bit to the bullish side. Again, of this one, maybe we get a slight pullback. The last candle of the hour was green, so that would technically be maybe a little drop into even 97.31. This was the break, so here's yesterday's VWAP. This break right here is showing us how much time do I got left? 4 minutes. This break right here is saying to the institutional buyers, the volume's coming in, right? We're jacking this VPOC up from higher than this one, higher than all these, higher than this. So anybody in this short is trapped. Good VPOC to close at. They broke through the volume. This came back. This was the retest of it. And I would definitely think Amazon can travel a little bit more bullish. Stephen King says, in the morning, let's do it. Yeah, it's up to you, Stephen. Whatever. If you want me, I can hang out for an hour. No problem. All right, we got Amazon looking pretty decent again. Probably go bullish. Delta. This is, to me, this entire Delta move is already the most unwanted bullish rally we've ever had. Like I'm like, this is stupid. It's Delta, but it is down still a lot. It's got a long ways to go. Okay, there's no volume. Yeah, but lean bullish. Why not on this one? I probably somewhere up into 37.19 is the next target. That gives you about $2 to the upside. I just Delta. It's just Delta. Next. It's already up there, and I don't know. It's still Delta. I don't know. That's just me. We got Boeing though. Boeing, aren't you the Bella de Ball? Look at this thing, just absolutely crushing higher. We are extremely up there on Boeing. Boeing started this rally way before anybody else knew what a rally was, and it's up there. Support, maybe it comes back down to 68.54. Who knows? But it's just doing its thing. FTX files for bankruptcy. Oh, Sam. We thought you had so much more money, Sam. You lied to us. Yeah, it just depends on the type of bankruptcy again. There's multiple types of bankruptcy. He might be trying to play a restructure as well. But either way, people hear the word bankruptcy, they're going to freak out. So I believe yesterday they did stop the withdrawals from money. I don't have any money with FTX. I don't know if you guys do. I also don't know because we know nothing on FTX. Like the crypto world, there's not as much transparency. So I know nothing on, like, we don't know anything. We don't know anything. We know there's secret handshake deals from Binance into FTX, and then that one falls apart. Then we got some other people bailing them, and it's just, we had somebody gave him like $1 billion the other day. I'm like, I feel like Sam has them on the hook for a little bit. Like they do not want FTX to go under, but we don't know anything. Like, it's crazy. All my money is real, aka dollars. But don't worry, Sam, he does have a stake in Robinhood, and Robinhood crushed it yesterday with the rest of the market. So he made, I think it was like $70 million on his hood position, I think, yesterday. So he's hanging in there. He's hanging in. I think CPI might have saved him. But all my friends out in YouTube land, I do appreciate you joining us and hanging out with us through all the craziness in the mornings. But make sure on the way out, because unfortunately this is the time I got to run, make sure you guys hit that little thumbs up, subscribe. If you have not already, go to reallifetrader.com, and we do have free, like freemium. It costs you nothing. Go to Real Life Trading. We do have Real Life Trading beginner, intermediate, and advanced courses. If you want to trade, you could also join our community each and every day. Just because I leave doesn't mean I'm actually leaving. I have to just disconnect from YouTube. But we are here all day, and you guys can join us, trade with us all day long. Otherwise, you guys are absolutely fantastic. I will catch you guys. Be safe out in the market and have an absolutely incredible